Yo, what's going on? There's a lot of things to dislike about this world, and today I just came to talk to you guys about three things that I hate in particular. These three things, how do I say it? They're all evil in their own sense, and that's why I feel like these things need to be hated on even more so than they already are. Starting off strong, the first thing that I think is one of the greatest menaces to society and human life is the humble mosquito, or should I say the greatest skin terrorist to ever live. Those things have caused me so much pain and suffering across my many years, especially back when I was in Mexico for the summers and the first 3 years of my life, blah, 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 etc. Those things have been a thorn in my and a lot of other people's sides for as long as we have been around, for the most part. They have caused so many red bumps and so much itchiness that it just makes you think, why? Why, God, did you make these horrible creatures? It might even make you question whether or not these are godly creatures. It might make you think that these creatures are direct hellspawn sent to make your life hell. Because I believe it. I believe that, certainly. Either way, that's not the worst part of these little shits. As you might know, they are responsible for a great many deaths across history. I'm pretty sure the number was like something greater than both world wars or something like that. Might not be accurate. Make sure to double check for yourself. Don't believe me at my word sometimes. Either way, these creatures have killed so many and they've gone unpunished. I mean, a lot of them have been killed. A lot of them are killed in mass by like bug traps, but I don't think that's enough. I feel like we as a human species have the duty and purpose and united goal, or we should at least have that united goal, of eradicating these things from our precious earth. Because, after all, why keep them around? Why? Like, I'm sure we could handle any sort of ecological damage that would come from getting rid of these abhorrent abominations from our planet, as I'm sure many of you would agree. Regardless of that, I think it's safe to say that these things are pretty hated and they need to be hated just a little bit more. And by a little bit more, I mean a lot of bit more. Fuck mosquitoes. Anyways, moving on from that, it's time to talk about another form of life-leeching parasite slash bug slash horrible creature known as the politician. Now, a lot of people might know that these creatures are known for sending people to their deaths across wars that really don't mean shit to the average human being in general, if we're being honest completely here. A lot of them are also responsible for greenlighting the absolute plague to our beautiful, beautiful planet, known as an AI data center. Of course, I'm sure you've heard it everywhere as to why AI is horrible and why it'll be the death of us all. And as such, I don't think you need me in particular to tell you why exactly. Anything that helps to bolster these friggin' boxes of concrete and ecological disaster. Damn, I used that word twice in the video. Anyways, I don't need to explain to you why these things are bad. And I don't think I need to go further into detail as to why anyone that allows them to spring up should not be in power. That being said, it is funny to, hear the news about a politician potentially dying. Now I could sit here and talk about all the many reasons why people have problems with politicians. I'm sure you were all familiarly aware already by now. But instead, I'd like to talk about why, and specifically, why do we even need to have them, really? Because I know it sounds stupid to say, like, oh yeah, why do we need politicians? Why do we need leaders like that? And trust me, I'm not an anarchist. When I say this, I mean, why is politics different from like science and stuff like that? Because if you really think about it, all of this is logistics and numbers and like stuff that relates to improving people's lives. And all of that can be done by people smart enough to, get a lot of these things pushed. For example, like we all know that healthcare that would be free and good, like would be beneficial to everyone. And it's like they don't do these things. And why not? It's because they always need to shove party pushing politics into every bill that would do an actually good thing, or lobbying by big pharma, blah blah blah. And it's like these institutions have built themselves up to validate their own existence, when in reality it's baffling that the smartest people on the planet aren't the ones in charge. We like to think that the people in charge of us that lead us are supposed to be, the smartest, the best of the best. But in reality, they're just a bunch of fossils that know how to talk sweet nothings into the ears of people that have long since known to fear taxation and other forms of government exploitation, such to the point where someone saying, yeah, that we're going to lower gas prices and we're going to lower the cost of living is suddenly treated as a saint rather than that being the basics. Why don't we strive to have leadership that comes in and already promises all that stuff out right off the bat, but instead promises to improve our society in ways we haven't even thought of yet because we're too busy thinking of how we're going to put food on the damn table? Anyways, lastly on this list, arguably the most evil of all the animals that exist on this earth, I'd like to say that award goes to the dolphin. I mean, dolphins are Satan's greatest swimmers. The dolphin propaganda has gone on far too much for a creature that literally does drugs by abusing another animal. I mean, what has a pufferfish ever done to deserve being tossed around and chewed up by a murderous, baby-killing dolphin? And the worst part is that they know exactly what they're doing. They're smart enough to know this stuff. They are the second smartest animal on the planet, believe it or not. And they are smart enough to know that they are hurting that pufferfish for drugs. They are hurting it to get high. And yet they keep doing it because they are horrible monsters. Anyways, if there's anything that you should take away from this video, it's that dolphins, they really suck. Anyways, if you made it this far into the video, I'd really sincerely like to thank you. And, it'd be much appreciated if you drop a like and a subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. That being said, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything more specifically that you'd like me to talk about. I'd really like to know what you guys are interested in. And, if I like the idea of talking about that, then I will. That being said, that's all from me for today, and I'm out. Peace.